Welcome everyone. Today I'm going to discuss on supply chain management, and the supply chain management is very helpful for us. For the supply chain management, we will discuss on introduction, supply chain management process, SCM decision phase, strategic sourcing process, logistic and IT, planning and forecasting, inventory management model, performance measure, common problem with supply chain management. Introductions, we will discuss on what is the introductions views on supply chain management, supply chain components, supply chain management process flow, is supply chain management implementation steps, advantages and goal. We have suppliers, manufacturer, distributor, retailer, shopper, product, finance, and so on. We have a second tier supplier, first tier supplier, first tier customer, and second tier customer. Supply sides, demand sides, and end customer. Supply chain management, we have supply, then manufacturer, distribution and warehouse, retail and consumer. These are the process of handling the supply chain management. Component of the supply chain: farm, juicing bottlings, bottle manufacturing plant, well drilling, plastic manufacturing, label printing, trees, papers, for fossil farm, national distribution center, regional distribution center, shops, supermarkets, vending. Company timelines, we have vendor, source, operation, consumer distributions, inbound shortage, transportation data, outbound shortage and transportation data. Develop better customer relationship and services. It helps to create better delivery mechanism for product and service in demand with minimum delay. Improvise productivity and business function, minimize warehouse and transportation cost, minimize direct and indirect cost, assistant in achieve shippings of right products to the right place at the right time, enhance inventory management, support the supply executions. SCM implementations steps: assessing supply chain operation, developing an SCM visions, develop an SCM strategy, creating the optimized SCM operational structure, establishing the SCM information and communication network, translating the SCM strategy into action. SCM to leverage inventory as a shared resource and utility, the distributions, orders management technology to complete order from the optimization node in supply chains. Beside that, in this strategy, it has cost effective and the cheap products are necessary, but supply chain manager need to connect on value creation for their customers. To maximize resource productivity, constraint standard process, remove duplication and minimize inventory levels. Increase expectation clients for high productive variety customer goods, off-season availability of the inventory and rapid fulfillment should be matched. Minimize of supply chain expense in very essential. Supply chain management process, if you have plan, source, execute, delivery, returns. SCM process has plans, warehouse, delivery model, IT solution, transportation cost modeling. Everything is involved. SCM need specific plan like supplier's name, RM procedures, annual amount, key benefit. These are the things we need. SCM process execute needs managers, area of responsibility, key strategy under each supervisor. SCM process delivered needs manager name, area of responsibility, key strategy under each supervisor. Supply chain management decision phase. Supply chain strategy. The decision to be made here is a long-term predictions and involve price of good that are very expensive if it goes wrong. It is very important to study that market conditions at this stage. Supply chain planning. Supply chain planning should be done according to the demand and supply views. In order to understand customer demand, a market research should be done. The second thing to consider is awareness and update information about the competitors and strategy used by them to satisfy their customer demand and requirement. Organizational strength. The objective behind this decision phase is minimize uncertainty and performance optimization, starting from handling the customer order to supply the customer with the product. Everything is included in this phase. Strategic source forces underlying the spend category, supply market assessments, supply survey, build the strategy, RFX request, communications with the new suppliers. Understanding the spend, complete previous expenditure records and volume, expenditure divided by item and sub-item, expenditure by divisions, department or user, expenditure by the supplier, future demand projects or budgets. Supply market assessment. The second step includes frequent assessment of the supply market for pursuing subtitle to present incubated a through study of the supplier market dynamics and the current trend is done. The major elements of the key product design is should cost, along with it an analysis of the major suppliers marketplace and maximization for any risk or new opportunity are also important. The should cost analysis supplies a volume tool that driven minimize of the cost and regular process effort to the suppliers. Supply surveys, building the strategy, how willing the marketplace to oppose the suppliers, how supportive are the client of a firm for testing incumbent suppliers relationship, what are the substitutes to the competitive assessments. Strategic source, RF selections, communications, order fulfillment process, order goods, submit order, check credit, credit off, credit check inventory, on hand pick and side goods, send invoice and prepare payment. Step of the order, customer merchandise order management. Here is the logistic and IT transportation medium, transportation challenge, IT in SCMs, transportation mediums, plan, truck, rail, ships, and electronic transportation challenges. A variety of a fuel price, the slide of the 100% editables, economic uncertainty, labor law, changing transportation industry, improvement, technology, globalization, and customer expectations. Information technology in a supply chains, SCM, transportation, inventory planning, transport execution, and WMS. Planning and forecasting, budget forecasting, demand forecasting, sale forecasting, product forecasting. Supply chain management budgets, this is very essential, and demand forecastings because we have to identify the market. Sales forecasting, how we make the profit, sales, this is for very, very important. Master production planning, we need demand for forecast, customer order, initial inventories, net inventory, master production, projects on demand, inventory management, introduction, EOQs, EOQ models, EOQ cost, EOQ important characteristics, EOQ basic assumptions. Inventory management in manufacturing, warehouse, distributions, wholesales and customer. Economic order quantity, older quantity and reorder points. EOQ model cost, minimum total cost and annual cost. EOQ cost model, annual demand, order quantity, cost of placing order, annual P unit cost. Important character of the EOQ, annual holding cost, annual ordering cost, total annual cost. EOQ assumption cost, which is very much important in this COVID-19 situations. Inventory management model like buy level optimizations, stochastic modeling and uncertainty modeling. Stochastic modeling, there are a lot of uncertainties and by optimization level we can do. Performance measures, for this performance measure we can non-financials measure, financial measures, non-financial measures, supply chain lead times, order to deliver the lead time, stock out of rate, back order level, probability of on times. Non-financial measure, raw materials, work in progress, spread parts and finishing goods. Non-financial measure with a manufacturing resource, shortage resources, logistics, human resources and financial resources. Financial measures, we need transportations, cost of experience, cost of good rates, cost of good returns, cost of raw material, revenue from the goods sold, inventory holding cost. Common problem is supply chain management, thief, transaction error, information delay, misplaced inventory, spoilless product qualities, lack of visibility. Common problem with SCM, poor delivery status information, poor IT design, internet customer discrimination, poor integration, and elusive inventory cost. Supply chain optimizations. Supply chain optimizations, it has raw material and component suppliers, transportation, source procurement, central manufacturing, distribution, assembly and reports, sales, marketing and customer service. Supply chain management, supplies, distributor, customers, factories, retailers, chart and graph. There are different kind of customer columns, products 1 and product 2, we are observing line charts. There is a pie chart, there is a bar chart. and additional slides, we can know the vision that every company need a specific visions and missions, and every company has some specific guidelines. If they have a good leadership, if your action inspire other to the dream more, learn more, do more, and become more. These are the ultimately a objective for getting more success. So we need quality leaderships, and beside that we need to utilize we have to know about locations and technologies, and we need to figure out that our goal, what is the goal for the next year, comparisons. We need to do the proper comparisons, we need to do the hierarchy, we need to make corporate hierarchy actually help us a lot. Beside that, we need a timeline, in between timeline what we will do, and the puzzle, different kind of puzzles we have. These puzzles actually help us to create more ideas and more accessibility. These are the most dynamic activities we are doing, and if we have any kind of activities which is help us to grow our economy in an effective way, we can take necessary initiatives. So I request everyone, if you has to know more about supply chain management, you can communicate with us, and we can give you more interesting idea on supply chain management. Beside that, I want to share a research work. uh, Maybe it will be helpful for understanding how research work actually help us to grow our economy in an effective way. This research paper on the manufacturing of supply chains, and from there we are observing that how we can remove different kind of strategic supply chain research, and the supply chain research actually help us to grow uh, economy in an effective way. So Malaysia is a very good place for manufacturing, supply chain integration, and empirical study on manufacturing industry in so the purpose of this, and this is has some good researchers like Veera Pandiana, VGR Chandrans, Abdul Razak, Ibrahim, everybody actually involved. So the purpose of this paper is to attempts to identify the relationship between supply chain process integrations and the farm performance, design methods and approach, the dimension classification and measurement instruments of the framework adapt from the revolution research focus on the farm performance impact of digital enabling supply chain integration capabilities. The study enables the qualities methods were convinced samplings and self-administration survey questionnaire went to 98%. Conference participants in Malaysia. This research framework was pre-tested and using multi-level analysis, finding the finding relevant with all three dimensions of the supply chain process integration were strategically significant to the farm performance. Furthermore, information flow integrations show is a greater influence than physical and financial flow integration research limitation or implications. This study focused on the manufacturing sector with the respondents who were participants of a conference. Partial implication, the result of an insight of the supply chain management practitioners and policymakers of the importance of the SCI and the information technology infrastructure to improve the competitiveness of the manufacturing industry in terms of the operational excellence, revenue growth, and customer relationship. Original or the value this study add to the body of the knowledge by providing new data and empirical insights of the relationship between SCI and the farm performance, specifically for the manufacturing industry studies mainly with other industries as well as other developing and developed economy. Keywords: supply chain management, manufacturing industry, technology strategy, paper, Malaysia paper type of research papers, and different kind of things is very much important. So in that situations, we can discuss on the supply chain things in an effective way. And if you have any kind of question regarding supply chains, we can help each other. Thank you, everyone.